This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Do you have a point of sale system you can trust, or is it a real POS? You need Shopify for retail. From accepting payments to managing inventory, Shopify POS has everything you need to sell in person. Go to shopify.com/system, all lowercase, to take your retail business to the next level today. That's shopify.com/system.
Hello and welcome to Lifetime Uncorked, the podcast where we discuss your favorite made-for-TV movies. Whether you love to hate watch or hate yourself for loving them, pour up a glass of your favorite cocktail and join us. I'm your host, Patrick Serrano, and my guests today are...
I am Drew Current.
And I'm Kenny Metroff.
Yeah, you are.
Kenny's
yeah,
here.
you are.
Yeah.
You are Kenny Metroff.
Finally on the podcast.
Oh, my gosh.
Finally. Since like season one, we've been trying.
I know.
But
biting at the bit.
Yeah.
Well, finally, your people were able to coordinate with my people, and we're here
and
now.
it worked out.
Boom, boom.
Kenny's here.
Usually our people just don't get along.
I know. And it's so weird because we get along so well,
Yeah.
so it's like our people should get it together.
They really
Yeah.
should. And
I guess
they,
you get new people.
Yeah. Stacy, you're fired.
Stacy? Uh-oh. Stacy's fired.
Stacy's fired.
Melissa, you're on the ropes.
Uh-oh. Okay. Kenny, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, okay, big question. You are a straight man
That is correct.
and really attractive.
Oh, my God.
He's a
Gotta throw that in there.
He's a good-looking
Gotta throw
man.
that in there.
He's
So
a good-looking
handsome.
Thank you.
But you're taken, married, and a dad. So I want to know, what are your thoughts on Hallmark? Like, what's your experience? Do you watch? Have you seen them? Do you watch them?
Yes, I do watch them. And both Hallmark movies and now, like, you know, how Netflix is getting into kind of their version of it, too.
Yes.
So I do have experience with them. And I would say it's a guilty pleasure just because I love just watching them and then just riffing on them, you know, because I'm, kind of a funny guy.
That's true.
I'm a funny guy.
Well, because you actually do stand up like all the time.
I do a good amount of shows.
Yeah.
More than me. I don't think I've ever done a stand up set. I think I would die.
Yeah.
I would die on stage. But you don't die.
No, I
you
don't.
Kill.
Oh, thank you.
You do the killing.
You kill it on stage.
Thank you. But I do want to mention,
Yes.
my new tradition, it's not a Lifetime movie. I think it was technically ABC Family, and now it's buried deep within Netflix.
Yes.
Every year now, I have to watch 12 Dates of Christmas.
How? Yes.
Have you?
Dates? No.
Yeah. So it's like...
Amy
so,
Smart, right? I think it's
I
Amy
don't-
Smart.
I know it's Zach Morris. Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Oh.
I have to
Yeah.
make sure it's Amy Smart before I do
But
that.
probably
Continue.
Amy Smart. Anyways, it's essentially like a broke man's version of Groundhog's Day.
Oh.
Set to the
Yes.
days of Christmas. So she
Yeah.
relives the same day and finally is able to connect.
It is Amy Smart. Highly recommend.
Okay.
Of note, Drew, we were talking about popularity on IMDb.
Yeah.
This is up 1,407%.
Damn.
So Leanne Rimes ain't got nothing on Amy Smart and Mark
Nope.
Paul Gosselaar.
No way. And the best part is how they work in all the days of Christmas each time she relives that day. Like they really force it in there.
really blasted in there.
I love that. That's such an interesting fact that you would watch that movie annually.
Yeah, like
You
as
know,
a tradition.
not just like, oh, it's my favorite. It's like I actually watch this every year. 'cause
Oh, I
it's
do.
So great.
Yeah, and my wife always falls asleep during it, and then
And you're just like, yay!
Yeah.
There's the ones on, because I'm not allowed to watch these ones, the Hallmark ones.
Right.
I'm not allowed to watch them.
Anything we're covering on the podcast.
Right. But I've seen a couple of Netflix ones. The Prince one,
Christmas Prince?
Christmas Prince.
Yeah.
It was good, man.
And Christmas Prince 2 is coming.
Yeah. There's
November 30th.
There's one on now.
Yes.
And it's all people of color.
They were telling
It is,
That's great.
Yeah.
People were telling me that's on Instagram, and I haven't seen it yet because obviously I'm watching all of these.
Right, you
But I
don't
will
have
get to it when I am done with this season. I'll be home and I'll enjoy all my Netflix Christmas. But we're not here to talk about
Yeah,
Netflix
no,
Christmas.
we digress.
Yeah, we are
digress.
here to talk about Hallmark Christmas, okay? And we have the Hallmarkiest of the Christmas movies I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas in Love, starring
Aw.
Brooke D'Orsay, Daniel Lissing, and Mary-Margaret Humes,
Oh, okay.
who you'll know from Dawson's Creek.
Oh, right. Yep.
Yep, she's one of my favorite actresses ever.
Ever.
I will say she's tragically underwritten in this movie.
Uh-huh.
She didn't get anything cool like the last one.
Was she
did.
Haley,
She's
the best friend?
She's the
Or
mom.
the mom.
The
Okay.
mom. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You wouldn't
Love her.
think I'd love Mary Margaret Humes, but I do. And she needs to be in her own Hallmark movie.
I'll say this. Her arms look great in it. She's got...
She's got great arms,
Yeah.
man.
She's in good shape. She
Very
takes
good
care of
shape.
herself. She goes to Pilates. She's got it going on.
She earned some of those Christmas Kringles.
Yes. We'll get to it, Drew. Don't worry.
Well, don't worry, Drew.
Okay, so jumping right in, we have Ellie, okay? Ellie makes fake wreaths, Drew. Or they're just wreaths.
She crafts.
This is like a word I can't say.
Wreath? Wreaths?
Wreaths.
I'm going to say wreaths because I can't say this word. Wreaths?
Wreaths.
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 Yeah, you just got to
Or
bring...
wreaths.
You got to bring the mouth around on
I don't
the
like
TH
it.
sound.
So
Okay.
I'm going to say Reeves.
Okay.
And
just
you all
call
know
him-
what I mean.
We'll just call him Reeves.
Yeah.
So
Reeves.
so she like makes them and they look really fake. They're like terrible. She hot glue goo guns like decorations into a wreath.
Okay.
You know? And it's awful. She's a single woman and she has an ex-cop boyfriend named Carl.
Oh, Carl.
And he's
I got some thoughts on Carl.
Carl's kind of hot, but he also has a cleft palate. Not that that makes him not hot, but I just want to note that if you have a cleft palate, you can be hot. So good for you.
And I want to know, he does not have a cleft heart.
No.
He's got a beautiful heart in this.
Full on.
He does. He does.
does.
Oh Lord. Okay. Here we go. So her Ellie's parents, both her parents are alive, and they work in a bakery. Okay, and it's like a chain. It's called like Carlson's.
Carlson's.
Wait, both
Carlingson.
of them are alive?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
yeah,
That's-
both are alive. Well, here's the thing. Carl's dad is dead.
Oh, okay.
There has to be a dead parent.
There has to be
Right.
at least
and
one.
it's the ex-boyfriend.
Right.
He's going through a lot.
Yeah, he's going through a lot, but he is taking on the new like Christmas festival since he broke up with Ellie.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Got to
taking
put his
that
mind
on.
elsewhere.
Right. So Ellie's parents own this bakery. It's not like
He's like the manager.
Yeah, they're-
He doesn't own it.
right. Okay, that's where I was getting confused. So it's like a Krispy Kreme. Like there's chains everywhere, and they just like run the town's Krispy Kreme.
Okay.
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 Except they're called what? Kringles.
Christmas Kringles. And you do not pass through White Deer without having a Christmas
Without
Kringle.
having a Christmas Kringle.
That's the town,
correct.
White Deer,
And
and
it-
they got a lot of white people.
So is it...
They do.
Do they? Yeah, I can imagine.
No black people.
There's no black people there.
No. There's two. The one that runs the food bank and Vi. Remember Vi? She's another one of my... She runs the diner.
Racist. They're all serving white people.
Yep.
I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like it, Hallmark.
Well, and this is my other issue. Because it's White Deer, Missouri? I was upset by that. Because,
Missouri?
Yeah. It's supposed to be an adorable mountain town. That's the formula these follow.
Yeah, because
Right.
There's
Ozarks,
nothing adorable about Missouri.
like
No.
Ozarks are like creepy small town.
Yeah.
It's not like a jing jing jingling a ding ding
It's like,
ding.
what is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, come on. Do a Dakota or Montana.
Right. Well,
Vermont?
no, we got
Minnesota.
Missouri.
Okay.
So, good thing, Missouri's whatever because this CEO to be named Nick, he's in San Francisco, and he is like with his dad and his,
CEO of Kringles?
Carlingson.
Of
So
the
Carlingson Bakery
Carlingson.
started in White Deer, and then when it got
Oh,
bigger,
okay. Gotcha.
they
they expanded,
enfranchised.
and then they got the headquarters in San
Fran.
Francisco, the big city.
Yeah.
So Nick is taking over as CEO, and the dad is like, "All right, well, you got to go like experience where it originated and like experience the small town, small
Absolutely.
town life." And Nick's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna go undercover, and I'm not gonna tell them I'm the new CEO. I'm just not even gonna tell them I'm related to you. I'm just gonna go as like an employee who's learning about the bakery."
Okay.
And real quick, Nick is a discount bin Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
If you like Brendan Fraser but can't afford him,
You can't afford the full Brendan Fraser.
I mean, how much is Brendan Fraser going for these days?
well, I mean,
I love Brendan Fraser. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love that
Oh,
man.
boy, okay.
I'd pay a big penny for that guy.
So we have her meet cute, and Nick slips on ice. And then gets hit in the head with a car door as Ellie is getting out of the door. So he slips on ice and then gets hit in the head like really hard. And she's like, "Oh my God, I hit you in the head with my door. Are you okay?" And he's like, "I'm fine." And then she like looks down into his shoes and they're like big city shoes. She's like,
Italian leather.
maybe if you weren't wearing those shoes, I don't feel so bad now because it's probably your fault because you slipped because you're wearing improper shoe wear.
Yeah, and
He's
then,
like, I'm fine, and his ears are bleeding.
Right. Yeah. He's just like, it's terrible.
Yeah, there's no concussion protocol in White Deer.
No.
But I'll tell you what is in White Deer: a paranoia of corporate guys and robot wars.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because everyone there is scared to death of robots
I
coming
mean,
in.
you're not.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
It's
and
a
this
good
is the
fear.
thing about
It's a rational
small
fear.
towns, because I was watching with Sarah Reed, and she was like, I understand why people would like this movie, because in small towns, factories are really getting like shut down and people are getting laid off and then machines are taking over. That's like
true.
a thing that just happens.
Yeah.
So everybody's very worried that this guy coming in is going to like be doing automation with the bakery and like cutting all the jobs. So at the bakery, Ellie realizes that Nick is like, I don't know what happens here. She tells him that it's like a nepotism on the job. Why did she say that if she didn't know that he was a thing?
So she said it because Nick found out first that Ellie, her dad is the manager. So her dad got her the job initially.
Oh, okay.
And then she said the line about nepotism, and he kind of like shrugged it off because
But he's like,
the CEO's son.
Right.
So there's
Okay.
nepotism
All over the place.
all over
All over
Carlin's and
this.
Bakery. They
So-
make Kringles and nepotism.
Yeah, and Ellie is giving Nick a tour, and she's like showing him around the bakery, and then she's like, "Your outfit is not going to work. You need to take off that fancy ass suit and put on a bakery outfit." And he's like, "Really? Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yes." So she makes him do the whole thing. He has a like hat on. He has an apron. He has the white outfit. And
It's like a lab coat, but for bakers.
yeah. And then she goes in, her hair flowing all beautiful. Like, she doesn't have to tie her hair back in a bakery. That is gross. You're going to
getting
get
that.
some hair in those crinkles, girl.
She getting that hair and that Kringles.
Yes. But he's like,
Please
"Oh,
tell me, are we getting to my favorite thing?
not a flower fight."
What?
No.
How do you not? It's a bakery.
It's a bakery. They're very professional, Drew. They can't have a flower fight. It's not at home where you can have fun.
They can. They can have.
Not when they have to
flower.
prepare for the robot wars.
That's true. I guess the looming robot wars is a problem.
Yes. Throughout the movie, Drew, everyone keeps asking Ellie if she's happy. They're like, "Hey, girl, are you happy?" And she's like, "What?
Yeah,
Why?"
they're very concerned with her happiness and her schedule. Because every
Yeah.
time she delivers a wreath to someone, they're like, "Oh my gosh,
Oh, you mean a
you
wreath?
have one
wreath.
of the
A wreath.
wreaths." Yeah,
Okay.
but they always say, "Oh my gosh, Ellie, I mean your schedule. How do you how do you do this?"
Yeah, people are very concerned for her, and she's like kind of getting pissed about it because she's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, like I'm fine, don't worry." But then she's kind of like second guessing herself, like,
Wait,
am I
am I?
happy though?
Yeah.
I'm in this town because here's the thing, Drew. She left the big city to go get her English Lit degree, and then she came back home, so she feels like she's taking a step back.
Yeah.
because she applied for a job in San Francisco and didn't get it.
Didn't get it.
Yeah, because
And
she
her
got a
dream
English
is to
lit
like
degree.
go to San Francisco and live in the big city and work there.
Right.
Right.
Which
With
you
her-
should also note too, the reason she makes the wreaths is because her grandma used to do it, and she would always put in how she wished she traveled. So her grandma would make
Oh, okay.
wreaths,
Right.
wreaths with the Eiffel Tower because she'd never been to Paris. She never left Missouri.
Right.
And Ellie's big goal is to just go to San Francisco.
Right. And Drew.
Yeah.
And we know in Hallmark movies, dreams are fulfilled unless you want to leave your town.
Oh yeah. No, you can't.
So,
yeah.
just saying.
You cannot leave your town
Yeah.
and have your dreams fulfilled.
Not when
in
the
a Hallmark
robot
movie.
wars.
Not with the robot wars happening. Is this a sci-fi?
Right?
Well-
So, Carl, remember Carl, the ex-boyfriend who's also a cop? He's like, "Hey,
With the cleft lip.
Yes.
Yeah.
"Hey, Ellie, I have a booth opened up in the festival, and, you should take it." And he's like, I like really need to talk to you though about something else, like in private. And he keeps like finding her and being like, hey, can we talk in private? Hey, can we talk in private?
Which I loved because, he kept ominously saying, can we talk in private? Mm-hmm. And then once they finally talk in private, he's like, hey, I know things have been awkward. It's like, you made them awkward, Carl.
Yeah, Carl, you're making this very weird for me.
You're the ex who keeps popping up and just like being like, I need to talk to you.
I know. I'm expecting,
like,
he keeps saying that. I keep expecting he's like, the robot wars are real.
Yeah.
And I'm a part of a conspiracy.
Yes. So
I am a robot.
I am one.
Ellie agrees to take the booth, and she's like, okay, we'll do it. And, oh my God, what is this guy's name in this movie? I forgot. Nick.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, like, you should do it. You should just go for it. And, like, you know, if you like decorating Reeves, then that's what you do. And go for it. She's like, okay. So she invites him over to her house to help decorate for Christmas. And they're, like, going to show him, like, what a white deer Christmas is like, you know? He's staying at a lodge, by the way.
Yeah.
He's not staying at their house.
And there's, like, this very vague running joke, I guess, throughout the movie about the lodge. Because, like, every time he mentions the lodge, someone in town's like, oh, you're staying at the lodge? How you sleeping? It's like, what's going on at the lodge?
Yeah.
Like,
It's very strange.
Is it haunted? Is it...
I don't know, but
I
they're...
don't know. But everyone's in on the joke. Like, oh, yeah, the lodge.
This is a sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
Right? One little twist, and it would totally be.
One little
absolutely.
tiny little thing, and it's a sci-fi horror movie.
Right. So Nick is like really pushing Ellie to be an independent businesswoman, and he offers to like help with the booth. And he's like, I'm going to build you a website because the real money is online sales.
Yeah.
Because did you know, according to Nick, Christmas decorations, that entire industry, $6 billion industry.
Dang.
And Ellie just needs to get her slice of the pie.
She needs to get that market share, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we get a brief montage of like wreath making. So like
Yeah.
Nick is like helping her, and the family's helping, and like people in the town are like all helping, and she's like making all the wreaths, and they have a moment where they're like almost gonna kiss, like after like a good night of decorating.
Yeah.
And then I think he kisses her on the cheek, right?
Yeah. He's a gentleman.
Right. But I was like, oh my God, they're gonna kiss, and it's like not even the end of the movie. What's happening?
And this is the dude. This is the
Nick
guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Carl's back, and he sits Nick down. They're like at a
yeah.
cafe or something.
And
I
they're
guess
at
the
Vi's Diner.
Okay, I guess I totally skipped the waitress because I was like a terrible stereotype, and I was not happy about it.
Well, and
she's like, "Honey, child, you better like get it together."
yeah, because she's like, there is a cute guy over in the big booth, and if you don't go over to him, I'm gonna take him.
Girl, I'm gonna take
Yes,
him.
she was like sassy black woman. Like, no, I can't.
Like,
I
no.
can't even deal with that Hallmark. But so, this is what she says. They're like sitting together, and she's like, I'm sorry, I'm getting my thoughts together. So Carl is like telling Nick, like, hey, like, don't mess with Ellie. She's my girl, and blah blah blah. I'm like, you better be careful with her heart, and blah blah blah. And then Vi comes over, and she's like, well, it's his job to protect the town.
What?
Right.
And the town is also Ellie because
Yes, she's
remember
the whole
you got to
town.
protect her heart, her schedule,
Her
her talent, her
Yes.
happiness.
yes, everyone is. Wow.
And here's
Yeah,
the thing:
all right.
White Deer does all that for her, but she wants to just jet off
just
to,
wants to get
San
out of there.
Francisco.
San Francisco.
San Francisco sucks.
I've
place
never
sucks.
been. I've never been.
Don't tell Ellie because she wants to take a cable car to work.
Right. It's the little things in life, you know. Dream big.
Yeah,
So Elle has a friend named Haley who's also a cop, and Haley
I
and
think she's
Carl,
a paramedic, but
Oh, okay. Well, she's in a uniform, which I just see cop. If I see a uniform, I think you're a cop. You know, it's like when I go to the doctors and like they're in scrubs, and I'm
Cops.
like, was I speeding?
Yeah.
What happened?
You're all cops.
yeah,
Right.
undercover.
Yeah, totally undercover.
Probably.
So Haley is her friend, and she's like, Ellie, I really like Carl, and I know he's her ex, and I would never ever do this. But if I
no
did,
one would ever cross Ellie.
Yeah, if I did, would you be cool with us dating? And Ellie's like, yes, I don't like him. He
Yeah.
keeps trying to talk to me in private, and it's really creeping me out. Like, can you just like take him off my hands, please? And then Is this? No, this doesn't happen yet. So we're back at the hotel now, and Nick is like on his laptop, and he has his presentation about automation.
Bringing in the robots.
And he's scrolling up to press delete, but he doesn't because Ellie shows up, and she has, she's like, "Oh, the wreaths sold out." All the wreaths are selling out at the booth. Okay,
Sure.
So she has the booth, and like she's like, "Can you believe it? We're just doing this amazing job.
Yeah.
Can you help me write a business plan?" And he's like, "Okay, great. I'll help you write the business plan." And they're like so much in love, and it's like they like have great chemistry.
They do have good chemistry. I will say that.
They do.
I do.
With Nick, right? Not
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
Nick,
Nick.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Discount Brendan Fraser.
So there's a Christmas dinner that happens, and I don't really think anything happens at the dinner. Then there's a Christmas tree lighting, of course, and Nick's dad shows up. So the
CEO of Carlingson Bakery comes in from San Francisco, surprises everyone.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh, this is it. This is the big thing that's going to blow up, and everyone's going to find out that he's the son of this guy, but it doesn't happen. It
No.
doesn't come up at all.
It wasn't like one of those tropey things that they do where they just hear like the last part of a conversation and be like,
No.
and then walk off.
Not at all.
Well, something like that happens in a bit.
In a
Yeah,
bit.
we'll
Okay,
get to it,
okay,
Drew.
okay.
But
Good.
this is where I was like, oh, his spot is blown. Everyone's going to know. But Ellie, like, stops by Nick's room. This is when this
Yeah.
happens.
Here's the other thing, too.
Yes.
It was mentioned earlier in the movie that White Deer is one of those small towns where you don't even have to lock your doors.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Which those towns don't exist anymore.
Not in the United States of
please,
America.
if you're listening to this, whatever size town you are in,
Lock your fucking door.
Lock your doors.
Just lock your door.
Yeah.
Lock
and
your
then,
fucking doors.
And then also lock your computer.
Yes, because Ellie stops by the lodge again, and she's bringing the San Francisco wreath that she made for him because he's from San Francisco, and she just glued like a bridge on it, like the
Right,
Golden
yeah.
Gate Bridge on it.
Just a Brit and like some
And-
sourdough crumbles.
Right, exactly.
The crab
So
roll.
she goes to hang it on the lodge door, and which conveniently has a hook on it, and the door just magically opens a little bit.
Well,
and
it
she-
is the lodge, right,
right.
everyone?
So she's
mean-
like, hello, hello.
Is there magic?
And she goes inside, and she like goes on the laptop because her business plan's on there, and she's like, oh my gosh, my business plan, it's so great. And she accidentally clicks, and behind the business plan is the automation proposal, and she's like, what is happening?
He's part of the war.
The
Yes.
robot was.
And it's like automation proposal, and then underneath it says Nick Carlson or whatever the bakery's name is, and she's like, "Oh my
Carlingson,
God, he's the son of the CEO."
no.
So she knows everything. She goes and tells her family, and they're really shocked. But the dad's like, "Hey, at least you got the business plan, right? At least
Yeah.
you got that business plan."
Yeah. He said, no matter what happens to the bakery, you've found what you want to do, Ellie.
Right. And this dad is like super like, I don't know, taking care of stuff, dad. Because Nick comes over to talk to Ellie, and the dad's like, you can't talk to her. You get out of here.
Well,
and she's not
remember-
coming to talk.
Remember, first she said, he's not here. And Nick goes, with all due respect, her car is in the driveway.
Yeah.
Challenge.
Right.
And then he said, well, that doesn't matter. She doesn't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry.
look,
Because
just look, dude, read the fucking room, okay?
Exactly.
Yes.
Read the room.
So
Were you interrogating me?
She broke
Fuck
and
off.
entered into your
Yes.
room. She saw what she needed to see. Now leave.
So Nick is not one to let things go. So he goes to the wreath booth, and he's like, Ellie, like, I'm really sorry. It's not what you're thinking. And she's like, don't even talk to me. We're done. You fucked up.
Just from the automation thing?
Yeah.
God.
She's like, you're a liar. And she's like, the town is really worried about this. And,
Yeah.
all the things are shutting down. The
And-
tire factory's shut down. The bakery's going to shut down now.
Yeah, and remember, this town in the entire movie, anyone that was not Ellie would come up and remind Nick. Well, actually, everyone, even Ellie did it a couple times, would come up and remind Nick that this town was about truth. It was about integrity, and it was about honesty.
And it was an anti-robot war.
Yeah, and don't bring your robots in here.
Right.
All right.
Or
These are hardworking
diversity.
people.
So, yes, they are. So Nick jumps up on the microphone in the middle of town square. Of course, that's just ready to go.
It's ready to go, just in case anyone wants to, say some shit.
Listen, everybody. Listen,
anyone that's
everyone.
overcome with the Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
can
sure.
hop on the White Deer
and
mic.
It's like, okay, I'm the CEO, and my bad for lying, but I'm here to help. And then some guy's like, we're all gonna get replaced by machines.
He's not just some guy. This is one of my favorite
okay.
characters. His name was Hal. And
Shut the fuck up.
no.
His name was Hal.
Yeah.
Like the fucking evil robot.
Yeah.
The evil
So Hal-
AI in
Oh,
2001.
yes. Wow, that's
And the reason Hal is strung out because it was brought up that he works the 12 to 12 shift at the bakery. And as the movie went along, Hal, Ellie would come into the bakery and see Nick was already there working with Hal. And Hal would be like, he got here before me. It was like, he got here at 11 p.m. and it's like 8 a.m.
Okay.
and then once he worked the 12 to 12 shift, like the next scene, they saw Hal dressed up as Santa at this like festival. And they're like, Hal, shouldn't you be home sleeping? He's like, I could sleep when I'm dead.
Ain't no time. Not Christmas.
These children need Santa before the robots come.
So Hal is sleep deprived, okay?
He is sleep
and he's
deprived.
having a white Christmas, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's
okay?
having a little bit of a
he's
white
having
Christmas.
a white
Yeah, his
Christmas.
nose is.
Yeah,
Yes, he
yeah.
is. But he's like, the machines, the
Machines, man.
And Nick's like, oh no, he like has some response, and then Hal is like, boo.
Boo. Boo.
He
Like,
boos
fuck
him.
you, man. Go fuck yourself. Did anyone have like an accent in this?
No, well,
of course.
actually, Brooke D'Orsay was probably trying to do a Southern accent, and it came through on some lines, but not the others.
because Missouri has
Yeah.
a twang to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
but
was
I
trying.
think they were trying to go just middle America. I think they
because
were trying to go like
the thing about Daniel Lissing, the Brendan Fraser wannabe,
he's Australian.
He's Australian, so he can only do one type of American
Oh,
accent.
yeah.
And Ellie,
Is she also foreign?
no, she's Canadian.
Oh, yeah, she
So-
is. Because there was a lot of
Well, everyone else
boots.
is Canadian. Actually, that's
Everyone was
probably
a
what
boot something.
it is.
Yeah.
So,
But in Nick's speech, when he gets up on the microphone,
Yes.
he does lay out for everyone. Not only is he not bringing in robots to to speed up the process and make everything more efficient and and like adjust overhead, he's like, actually, what I'm going to do is hire more people. So he just totally does a 180 and just probably a terrible business practice. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to create even more overhead. But then they decide it's not, Kringles aren't just for Christmas. You can make them for every holiday.
Yeah.
It was
hell yeah, you can.
oh, a great parallel to Hallmark strategy. They're like, every holiday, Valentine's Day, Arbor
Perfect.
Day, Labor Day,
Brilliant.
4th of July. We'll
Yeah.
do all the movies or Kringles, whatever I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay,
Love is
Hallmark,
year round.
We'll do all the movies
Thanks for your
or I mean,
strategy.
Kringles.
Yeah, thanks for laying out your strategy.
Yep.
And Elle resigns as the baker because she's going to take on wreath making full time too. Because why? You always need a
technically-
wreath.
Which could
Technically,
be automated
Ellie-
as well.
Ellie was working HR at the bakery.
Right.
So- But if you work in that bakery in that small town, you still have to know how to make a Kringle.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's a
And-
good policy, company policy.
Nick is like, I'm really happy that you're going to put this business to use and you're going to use my business plan. And New Year's is coming up. Why don't you come to San Francisco for a New Year's date with me?
Oh.
And she's like, I'd love that. I've always wanted to get out of the big city. And if this is the way that I can do it for one night only, I'll do it. They kiss. A good kiss.
Oh, it was.
That was a good one.
It was a good one.
Good.
I was like,
The only way an Australian and a Canadian can kiss.
yes. Camera fades. That's the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
it.
so she could be going to San Francisco,
It could be implied that
which
she's
goes
going
against
to
the
San
rules.
Francisco. I know.
Hallmark happiness.
We don't know. I mean, her job could take her anywhere.
This could be a sequel.
Oh, God.
Well, I think it was also set up.
There could be a sequel to this.
Yeah,
one.
yeah, that's true. Well, and it was also set up that she could do her business from anywhere. Because remember, I mean, White Deer is small, but it still has a post office.
Right. Oh, that's
that,
true.
That was another bit between them.
That is so true.
Yeah.
What?
Because like she was like looking for every reason not to start her own business.
was
She's like,
scared.
well, how am I going to do like shipping and handling? He's like, well, doesn't this place have a post office? She's like, of course it does. I mean, we may be, a small town where everyone cares about my schedule and my happiness, but I could still mail stuff.
That's right.
By the way, I was looking. There is no
White Deer,
Missouri.
Oh, no,
Okay.
no.
Well, no. Of course not.
Of course.
No,
So,
Because
Kenny.
it's not a Christmassy state.
No.
it's not. You don't think
not.
it'd be like, oh man, Missouri,
No.
Well,
Missouri, and
Christmas is everywhere, you guys.
It is everywhere.
It is.
So deal with that.
But it's not as adorable as
Right.
a mountain town.
I was like, yeah,
Maybe Hallmark's viewership in Missouri is really high, and they just like whenever there's a Chicago one, I'm like, oh my god, Chicago. So
Yeah.
think of how all the Missourians are feeling right now. Very happy.
yeah. They're like, cool.
We
That's
matter.
not a city,
Right.
But cool.
But yeah.
But cool.
Okay, so Kenny, on the podcast, we either pour it up or put a cork in it. What are you gonna do to this movie?
Well, Patrick, I lost a lot of sleep over this last night, weighing the pros and the cons.
Oh yeah.
But
You
I
had
mean,
the whiteboard on.
Yeah,
You
the
had to
whiteboard.
oh
Yeah.
sure.
Talk to your
Exactly.
wife and
Yes.
and your infant son.
And
Right.
it was like beautiful mind, like all these
Oh
equations
wow.
were going.
I'm glad you put so much time into this. It's amazing.
going by. And really, I mean, my only issues with the movie were that it was set in Missouri. Like that was hard for me at first.
Yes.
But I have to say, I'm gonna pour it up.
Okay.
And here's why.
Okay.
Yes.
Here's why. One, because something that I did not expect to happen was that Ellie had such a transformation.
Yeah.
I knew Nick was going to have a transformation, right? Per previous movies, the formula they have, but Ellie really changed as well.
She had a good change.
And
Change of
then
character.
not
Okay.
only did Nick transform well enough, the wardrobe people did a tremendous job of dressing him down each time we saw him.
Okay.
Did you notice that?
I
like
noticed
he
that he
started out
had
in a
a-
tailored suit, and then next thing you know, he's in
wearing like a
Henley.
leather jacket.
Yeah,
Okay.
leather jacket. He was more casual.
Yeah,
and then
okay.
finally, I got to give it up. I got to pour it up for the side characters, specifically Vi, who ran the diner because I don't know if you remember this. The CEO, when he showed up, he's like, well, I'm going to stay just a little bit later because I have to have Vi's coffee. And then he just drank coffee all night in this small town. And then I
Sure.
apparently drove back to San Francisco. I don't know. We never really found out, but he had to have
Yeah, who
Vi's
knows?
coffee.
Okay.
Sure.
And then Hal.
For
And
Hal.
Hal. Yeah, for Hal.
I'm pouring it up for Hal.
Pour it up
man.
for
Like,
Hal.
Pour it up for Hal, man. It's been
the
up
guy's
all
sleep
night.
deprived.
He
He's paranoid
really-
about
yeah.
robots.
He has a foil under his Santa hat.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
Definitely has foil under
Oh,
that.
yeah. So, pouring it up.
Okay,
Great.
Drew, what are you gonna do to this movie?
You know what? I'm also gonna pour it up. It didn't have a flower fight,
Right.
and I almost poured it, or I almost put a cork in it because of that.
But they're a profesh bakery.
But they're a profesh bakery, and I think just from like what you guys are telling me, I don't know. It's just kind of. It just sounded like a fun, weird, wild ride.
Yeah.
There you go.
and I forgot to mention, too, one of my
Yeah.
favorite aspects of this was the scene.
Oh, and Hal too. By the
Yeah,
way, Hal.
and
Oh,
and
okay.
Hal.
Great.
You'll
The fact
love
that
Hal.
this guy is named Hal, who is talking about AI and automation and stuff, and is against it.
Yes.
and they name him Hal. But I'll pour it up for the writer that obviously like did that. He's like, it would be funny if his name is Hal.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and the CEO, his whole mindset was like, look, I know you want to automate everything, but before you do, just go have dinner at one of their houses. And like he kept pushing Nick to just have dinner at one of the White Deer family's houses. So I think, was it Jeff Bezos from Amazon? If he would just go to Kenosha, Wisconsin.
If he would just
and
go.
just have dinner.
Dinner
with
somebody.
someone from the warehouse.
and he just understand it.
just understand
Just
it.
understand
Yeah.
Is that true?
No,
Oh, okay.
No,
Like,
no,
oh my gosh.
no. But what he was saying, what he's saying is like as if like Jeff Bezos from Amazon is like,
Right.
you know what? You really want to understand your customers, Jeff.
Yeah. Jeff.
Oh, that would
Go-
be weird.
Go to just knock on a door
And
go
if I was-
randomly. I'm like,
yeah.
hi, I'm Jeff Bezos,
Hi.
Oh, God.
CEO of Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm from
okay.
San Fran. And
No. Okay. I am going to put a cork in it, guys.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Oh, no,
so sorry
why?
to say.
No,
so,
that's
Oh,
okay.
because of the
well, here's my
diversity.
thing. So, yes, because last week we had such a good week of like we had the most woke Hallmark movie. They had an Asian brother and a gay brother, and it was amazing. By the way, the ratings on that weren't so great. It was like 2.8 million.
Okay.
So maybe the Hallmark
What's
fans
like a
aren't ready for
good
that. The
range?
The best one last weekend was like 3.2 million.
Dang.
So, I mean, yes, we're catering to a certain audience, and this movie definitely hit that target very well. But there's just little things that could have been done better to like let's establish these side characters a little more, or have a little bit more diversity in there. We had,
That's fair.
a waitress and a lady who's working at a food pantry. Like, of course, they're going to be black people because they're the help.
They're the help.
God
Yeah.
damn it. Like,
Yeah,
Hallmark
yeah.
always does this type of shit. So I got to put a cork in that.
Okay.
The leads were fine, but I feel like Daniel Lissing is like on the downward path at Hallmark because he was on a show and he got killed off that show. And now
Okay.
he's doing this movie and he was like fine, but he wasn't as charming. Like, he's kind of fucking ugly. Sorry to say. And Brooke D'Orsay is like super adorable. I have no shade on her. And Mary-Margaret Humes was super underused, so put a cork in that.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Okay.
Kenny.
But I was just going to justify my point. I do agree that
Yes.
they could have done a lot better on the diversity end and given the mom some more camera time, because
Yes.
those arms were on point. But I will say I do like how the more the main characters get attracted to each other, the longer the pauses are in everything they say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just
because they're
like
all googly eyed.
yeah,
It's like, do you want some pancakes?
Stop.
with syrup.
Oh. Yeah.
I hate this.
Of course.
I hate this.
Well, that's how attracted we were.
Well, I know
We
you
were
guys,
very attracted
you
to
guys
each
are
other
so
right there.
attractive and attracted to each other, and it's great. So that wraps up our conversation about Christmas and love. But now it is time for our favorite segment of this week and every week. What you say, Candace Cameron Bure. On my wedding day, catch the bouquet. Candace hates the gays. Candace Cameron Bure. Drinking rosé, eating creme brulee. Can't share with me. Candace Cameron Bure. Yeah. What you say, Candace Cameron Bure. Okay, that's right. What you say, Candace Cameron Bure.
Yeah.
Kenny, I'm so excited to have you here for a very special Candace Cameron Bure.
Oh, I'm thrilled about this, and I mean, if it's anything like the theme music, I am ready.
There you go.
Yes.
And this doesn't happen I probably will keep this segment moving forward, but for the
Yeah,
Lifetime,
go for
we
it.
did Lifetime last season.
Yeah.
I almost said semester. And
Last
I
semester.
stopped doing the Candace because I was like, well, it doesn't really apply because she's not really on Lifetime anymore, but she used to be back in the day. So I think I'm going to keep it going because her Instagram is a wealth of content.
So much.
So I'm going to play a clip from her Instagram. Don't follow her on Instagram, Kenny. Don't do it. I'm following her, so you don't have to.
Okay,
Same
thank
with
you.
you listeners.
Thank
If
you.
you're following her, unfollow her. Follow our podcast at Lifetime Uncorked, and then I will tell you all about it. What's happening with Candace?
Swap your following.
Just swap it out.
Swap the follows.
Okay, so here we go. We have a little Candace. There's a little bit of screaming at the beginning because Natalie Moretti, I think, is like at a rock climbing thing. Whatever. We'll just move on from that. Okay, here we go.
Candace's Car Chronicles. Okay, today is a big day. It's my first day as director on Fuller House, and it's my daughter's 20th birthday, and Max's first day of school. And I'm extra emotional, and I've been crying the whole way over here. And Lev is leaving in 10 days.
That's her
to
son.
go play hockey. I also started my period yesterday. I know CMI for some of you, but 'tis the reason for being extra emotional. But ladies, you know what that means. it means I am trying something new.
I didn't know this was going to go period, but it's fine. We'll keep it going.
This just took a whole turn you guys weren't expecting, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So I'm going to keep you posted on how I like that and my thoughts on it.
The
And I'll
period
give
cup.
you a heads up so you can fast forward if you don't want to hear it. And right now I'm going to go in my room and I'm going to boo-hoo for a few minutes because I need to get my tears out before I start work.
Okay. And they're like, Director Candace Cameron Bure, and then they're just clapping. So, Candace...
Wait, period cup?
Look, Kenny, we talked about it on the last episode. We don't need to get into it as three men talking about a period cup, but basically a period cup is, from what I understand, a cup that you put in your vagina and then it like catches all the blood from your vagina.
Okay.
And
so
then,
exactly as it sounds.
yeah, you take it out and then you dump it out.
Okay.
And
you
instead of
can clean
having like a bleached cotton in your your hoo-ha, this is just a little bit better, you know?
Yeah. But, I mean, why would her son start hockey the same week as all
her
that?
movie
I mean, that's
and everything.
That's on her son.
Yes. So, well, it's funny because
How inconsiderate of
And
her
who was
son.
driving her?
she drives herself.
Wait, she was not driving in that video, was
Well,
she?
No, she's
it's-
parked.
It's mirrored.
Oh, she's... Well, it looked... All right.
I think it's a mirrored weird thing with like a selfie mirrored thing.
She looks
so
ju-
she looks like she was on the other side of the car.
Oh.
But I think she was actually on the... I think, maybe. I don't know. Maybe she just gets in the...
And, like, filming yourself aside, it also looked... She also looked like she was on drugs, so I don't think she should be driving for a lot of reasons.
So here's the thing. Candace is like directing this movie, right? And Fuller House is like on the brink of getting canceled on Netflix. And we know Netflix doesn't like to cancel things.
Yeah.
So with the Netflix cancellation, I don't know what's going to happen to her because she's going to have a lot more free time. And it sounds like all her kids are going off to live their own lives. They're all like grown up adult kids.
It sounds like we're going to have to do like a whole new podcast of just called What Did You Say?
What'd you say, Candace Cameron Bure?
Yeah.
Right?
I think so. Or at least, maybe a Kickstarter or something.
Yeah.
Get her more work.
But Kenny, you're a parent.
I
So
am, yeah.
do you ever get very emotional like Candace when your kids are all leaving you and doing things? Like maybe when Henry's going to like a playtime or what's that gymnastics one where it's like baby gymnastics?
Yeah. So
Baby Nastics?
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know.
So my son is only 17 months old right now. So
he's ready
not
to get
quite
the
go-
fuck
I know.
out
yeah, I mean,
and go on his own.
Studying abroad.
I will say this.
He's ready to go to Europe.
I will say this. Before I had a kid, I always hated the term or the saying, the hashtag, all the feels.
Yes.
But then it totally applies once you have a kid. And yeah, and you will just, even within the span of a couple hours, go through every emotion that you ever had.
Oh, so it's like, so you're like, oh, it's like, oh no, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
But,
Right.
That's the thing.
But it's when people who don't have kids say it.
Yeah.
You're just like, you don't fucking
no,
know.
you don't know what emotion you can go through. But I do. There are times where, like, we had a babysitter during the summer when I would work at Wrigley.
Yeah.
And, she would send, like, videos and pictures and stuff. And I would get jealous, though. And, like, somewhat, not, like, terribly emotional, but just kind of like, aw. He never does that with me,
Right?
Yeah, I understand that. But
being a parent makes you a totally different person.
at the same time, I don't know what having all that is like, plus having a period cup.
Right. Well, and this is the thing. Like,
and knowing that Fuller House is on the brink. Like,
yeah, she's
that's
got a
lot
lot
on your
going
plate.
on. But I liked that she was open and honest, and she didn't backtrack on anything she said. She just said her feelings and just left it there.
She good.
That's true.
She good.
And I will say this, like, us right now,
Yeah.
we're like the town of White Deer.
Oh.
And Cameron is our Ellie.
And yeah,
we're concerned.
Are you happy?
Yes, we are. Are you
Cameron?
happy, Candace?
Candace, are you happy?
Candace, yeah, sorry. I said
Yes.
Cameron, yeah, sorry. But Candace,
Candace Cameron Bure.
Candace.
Didn't you hear the song?
Yeah, I did.
Candace Cameron Bure, are you happy?
Candace, I know your schedule's really packed right now, but we're concerned.
But are you happy?
Okay. Kenny, do you have anything you'd like to plug in this bluggy time of the show?
Yeah, in the spirit of the holidays, I will have a holiday sketch show running at the Blackout Cabaret at Second City on the Friday and Saturday before Christmas.
Okay.
So it'll be the 21st, 22nd at 10 p.m. Blackout Cabaret at the Second City. It's called Gold, Frankincense, and America.
America.
Exactly. And
get
we actually have a couple sketches that are kind of a parody of Hallmark movies.
Wonderful.
So I think it'll play very well to your audience here.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, if you're in Chicago or you're looking for a vacation, come to Chicago and check it out. What was it called?
It's called Gold, Frankincense, and America. But you can just go to KennyMetroff.com, and Metroff is spelled Metroff. And
2 Fs.
it has my show dates on
That's
there.
2 Fs.
Two Fs
Wonderful.
as in Frank. Yep.
Yes, check him out. Kenny is a great actor, and I love him so much.
Well, thanks so much for having me, Patrick.
Of course. Drew, where can we find you?
You can always find me at my Instagram, Drew Butt with Pants. Also, I'm gonna try doing a beard competition.
Huh?
Yeah, there's a beard competition. I'm entering it.
Oh, so everyone vote for you?
Yeah.
Do you have a thing, like
No.
a website
I
or
don't know.
something?
It's just the place we go to.
Well, we'll see.
So that's where I'll be.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you both for being here. And thank you, listeners, for checking back in with Lifetime in Court. We watch these movies so you don't have to, but if you do, you can follow me at Patrick Miguel or the podcast at Lifetime in Court. Don't forget to call us at 872-267-4117 and leave a message about a movie we've covered or a movie you want us to cover. Rate and review us on iTunes. It really helps. Or Apple Podcasts, whatever. Okay, that's it. Bye.
Bye. Happy holidays.
Yay.